And we should be live. Hello, everyone. Matthew Kadish here, author extraordinaire and producer and co-host of the Salty Nerd podcast, coming at you with a very rare Saturday morning home gang nowadays. For those of you who don't know, the Home Gang is our kind of free-for-all show where we talk about news and all that good stuff. And today I've got a fantastic panel of nerds with me. Joining me as always is the barbarian space Viking himself, Matt Vader 74. How you doing?
Yo, what's up, my friend?
You ready to talk about some stuff?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yes.
And as a special guest this morning, we also have Danny Ballard, aka the Dork Knight. How you doing, Danny?
Hey, doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. And we're going to talk about all types of stuff, but for the most part, we're just going to kind of shoot the proverbial poop and kind of talk with our chat, hang out, and get up to speed on a bunch of stuff. So the first thing I wanted to talk about this morning, before we get into the meaty stuff, is that Cobra Kai has been renewed for a 5th season ahead of the season 4 premiere. And as we all know, season 4 is going to have the return of Jerry Silvers, the original owner of the Cobra Kai dojo, and the main villain of Karate Kid Part 3. And I'm very excited to see what the Cobra Kai guys are going to do with his character, because for the longest time he refused to ever re-reprise his role as Jerry Silvers, but he's coming back for the show. What do you guys think of this? Are you excited for a 5th season of Cobra Kai?
I love Cobra Kai, so I mean, yeah. Short answer. What about you, Matt?
I think it's awesome. The Cobra Kai is one of those rare shows that just kind of has gotten it right from the get-go. It's very strange to me that this thing started out as this little tiny YouTube series, bringing back this this show from the 80s, you know, and it's this movie. But they did it right, man. It's a great story. You know, they got all the actors to come back and do their thing.
Yeah,
and it is super fun. It's super fun. I really enjoy that show a lot, and
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to season 4. I'm a little worried about them running out of story at some point, but you know, I guess that's the writer's problem, not ours. We just have to sit back and enjoy it and talk about it. So yeah. Looking forward to it a lot.
Well, it's the Miyagi verse that they're building out, right? So every movie that Mr. Miyagi appeared in is canon.
Oh, boy.
And so they're trying to connect everything that was taken. So now this season we're getting Jerry Silvers back. I'm theorizing that in season 5 we're going to be getting Christie's or
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah. The girl, the next Karate Kid.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on her name right now.
I just call her $1 Million Baby, but
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that they're going to be trying to get her back and bring her into the fold somehow. And then once that's done, maybe they'll have like a 6th season to wrap something up. They may even go full 7 seasons because the show's extremely popular.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen that movie with Hilary Swank in it.
The Next Karate Kid.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
It's not good.
It's not, yeah, if I've seen it, it was one time, you know, when it came out, and you know,
I mean,
for me.
my Karate Kid experience when I was younger was the first 2 movies I remember very well, and then the 3rd movie was just awful, and I think I watched it maybe once way back when. I've seen it recently because we did it for the podcast. But
there's a 3rd movie.
Yeah,
with Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
How bad it was.
Oh, you almost had me there, man. You almost had me.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Dustin in the chat. I totally agree, brother. Hence the shirt.
What does Dustin say? Hitman, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Yeah, I know you're not in the rest.
I thought you were talking about Hitman 47.
No.
Brett the Hitman part. So, Danny, you actually went to SummerSlam here in Las Vegas recently at the new Allegiant Stadium. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, for the most part, it was fun. In fact, speaking of SummerSlam, I have my little SummerSlam cup here. I got that for free because the point of sale system went down right after the very first official match, after RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw tag titles, which was a good thing because it meant I couldn't get any alcohol, and I was able to enjoy myself and remember it all. So it was awesome.
That's good.
Jokes aside, of course, the merch stands, their POS worked. So that was the only thing you could buy was merch.
Yeah, for people who don't know, the new big stadium here in Las Vegas that they just opened up, they do cashless transactions. And so you have these point of sale things where like you either use your credit card or you use your phone or something like that. If you actually bring out legal tender and try to exchange goods and services for that, they're like F you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Is that even legal?
I don't know, because I had like a few $100 on me, and I was like, look, I'm trying to get, like a sandwich and a Coke,
Right.
Like, sorry, we can't, but we can give you this cup for free, and they have these refill stations everywhere, and you're like, you can have as much to drink as you want, as long as it's just soda. And I was like, well, okay, fine. And then I had extra, so I had extra money for merch, and I bought I'm like a kid at these things, man. I bought an Acknowledge Me shirt because my girl and I, it's kind of like an ongoing joke. Roman Reigns is always like, acknowledge me, acknowledge me. So I started doing that to her a while ago, and every time I do it, she does this funny laugh. So I got the shirt and I had a hoodie on, which I also got at SummerSlam. And then I just kind of opened up the hoodie and it says acknowledge me really big on it. And she just belted out with laughter. It was hilarious. And then I bought her a shirt, got, bunch of stuff, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you want me to go into the whole event,
let's hear it, because I heard something about CM Punk. I'm
that's AEW.
That's a different league.
That's AEW.
Different network, man.
I would have rather. So, what was it? The night before SummerSlam, CM Punk came back to wrestling from like a 7.5 year hiatus, and he came back to AEW in his hometown at a sold-out United Center. That was sold out on the rumor he was going to be there.
Yeah.
Like it was never even confirmed. And then he came out to the loudest, I just watched it on TV, but he came out to the loudest ovation, or as the wrestling fans call it, pop, I think I've heard since WrestleMania 17 when with Hogan and The Rock. It was pretty amazing. And all the guy did was sit in the middle of the ring and talk. So it just to tell you like how over that guy is.
In Chicago, he's huge. I mean, he's big everywhere just because of his history and everything. But that was quite the get on the part of AEW, and they're getting a few more guys coming over from WWE, and they're legit now. If you're familiar with the old Monday Night Wars back in the late '90s, early 2000s with WWE and the WCW, that's back. That's back.
Almost a feeling.
It's great.
I love it back. No, I do too. So I was reading this morning that WWE fans will know him as Daniel Bryan, indie fans will know him as Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
He's going to be coming back September 5th at their All Out pay-per-view because for some reason they just can't keep surprises. I mean, they're not advertising it, but originally he was going to debut in New York, but because of the rise in COVID cases, they want to make sure he comes back in front of fans. So they moved it to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I think Bray Wyatt's going to be coming into AEW as well. So I hope.
So Marianne says that here in Norway you cannot refuse cash payment, but they recommend using contact-free payment. Which is
sounds like they have freedom in Norway because they're kind of getting rid of it here in America.
Yeah,
they certainly are. And Joker says CM Punk joined AEW. That is another promotion started by Cody Rhodes. I don't know who that is.
He's the son of the American dream, baby.
He doesn't even watch wrestling, do you, Matt? You don't even watch
I haven't watched wrestling since college. So like that was back when WWE versus WCW.
Back in the glory when everybody watched wrestling, when it was getting like a 5 minute.
The Stone Cold versus The Rock versus Mankind. That was my era.
We'll have to do a wrestling discussion someday.
Oh yeah,
that'd be fun.
That would be.
But
then back to the SummerSlam. I actually didn't see they do a pre-show, And I didn't see it because in typical Dork Night fashion, I was running a little late.
You
that
don't
they
say.
advertise. Yeah. Then they didn't advertise any kind of a match, but it ended up being Big E from the New Day versus Baron Corbin. I did get to watch it later because you know, I'm a nerd. You know, even though I was there in person, I had to go back and watch the stuff. So Big E won that match, and Baron Corbin is hilarious because he's had this up until last night. He's had this gimmick where he's kind of homeless, where he like lost all of his money. He lost his crown, then he lost all of his money, then he let his hair grow out, like kind of like in a fro. And he's got the male pattern baldness. So
it's brutal. It's
and he was letting his
so
beard kind of grow out, and just looking like wearing like shirts with tears and mustard stains and stuff like that, and begging fans for money and having like it was actually quite hilarious gimmick. But then because they were in Vegas for SummerSlam, apparently. Between SummerSlam and last night's show, SmackDown, he met, hit a Mega Millions jackpot. And he's a millionaire.
Oh
and so now he's Happy Corbin, and he's wearing this, he's all shaved again and wearing a suit, and he bought a car. And,
That's funny.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. The first official match of the night, which I did get to see, and I actually should have. I bought a shirt for RK Bro because I love RK Bro. RK Bro is Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle's shtick is he's kind of a stoner. I mean, like they don't say
he's a little surfer dude. He's
like bro. It's
bro,
like
what's up?
bro. Yeah, it's everything's bro. And Randy Orton's finishing move, just to explain to you, Matt, Kadish, is called the RKO, which is basically just ripped off Diamond Dallas Page's Diamond Cutter. It's the exact same move. And so, Matt Riddle was begging Randy Orton to be his partner for months and months and came up with the name RK Bro. And they're like an odd couple. They're hilarious. And they beat AJ Styles and Omos for the tag team titles, which was a load of fun. Matt Riddle, local boy. That's right, Joker Boys. He is from Las Vegas.
You know what else is a lot of fun? Super stickers. Raj H just gave us a $2 Canadian super sticker. Thank you so much, Raj. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks.
So what was the headlining match for Summer or for?
There were 11 matches. So the headline match, well, there were like 3. The main event was Roman Reigns versus John Cena. That's who's on the cup. That Roman Reigns and right there, John Cena. They had a good match. It was fun. I mean, there was no way in the world Roman Reigns was going to win, so it was really hard to suspend disbelief for me, anyway. As a grown man who still watches wrestling, it's really important to be able to suspend disbelief, when you're watching it, and it's hard to do when you already know because Roman Reigns put his career on the line.
Oh yeah, he wasn't going to lose.
Timer John Cena, who's just coming back to help sell tickets.
Yeah,
put asses in seats, and then there was just so they should not have added that stipulation. Added that stipulation. I could have suspended my disbelief that Cena might win, and then drop the title back to him, but it'd still be a possibility. But there was no way. This is the hottest Roman Reigns has ever been. There was no way they were gonna, loser leaves WWE.
I'm actually really curious if they're ever gonna give Cena another belt, because right now he's tied with Ric Flair for the most belts ever. So if they give Cena one more world championship, that essentially tells the world that he's the best of all time.
Yeah, I think.
And it's I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to do it. I think they're going to leave him tied with Ric Flair. If they
ever do it, they're going to wait till Flair's dead.
Yeah.
If they ever do it.
I think we lost Matt.
So I think so too. I think you got bored with the wrestling talk. That's why skip to the main event. Going backwards, then before that was a terrible, terrible match with Bobby Lashley, who is the almighty.
Oh yeah, I can't
WWE
stand it. He's like a big reason I don't even watch WWE right now. I just can't really
Lashley
stand it. Yeah, I don't like him.
So funny. I was actually about to give him a little bit of praise I've actually been liking his this last arc of his. But this match with Bill Goldberg, was terrible. Bill Goldberg should not be wrestling anymore. And I tell you what, I was there at attendance, and they were either working the crowd like off screen, or Goldberg was really hurt. Yeah, I don't think he was really hurt. You know, it's kind of hard to tell in wrestling. But like when the match was over, there were people carrying him, like helping him walk, and he was selling that leg injury. There was three things that I could think of that I thought were kind of cool about SummerSlam.
Becky Lynch came back, right?
Yeah, haven't you
got the big blonde dude?
Match of the night, Edge.
Oh yeah, Edge came back, but he came out with his Brood theme, right?
Oh god, and it was there,
the fire, and
they didn't even show the best part on TV.
Yeah.
He walked through the fire.
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Brock Lesnar, right? So
oh man, and Brock, you know, he came at the end of the Roman Reigns match. You know, gets into Roman Reigns' face, and then they end the SummerSlam show, right? And then Brock Lesnar acts like he's going to leave, and John Cena is crawling back into the ring and like saying goodbye to everybody. And then Brock Lesnar comes back and just beats the shit out of him to send him on his way. None of that was on TV, so it was just like that was a little extra thing for the.
But here's the thing. I think AEW is a better product, and I think and them having to do stuff like drag Goldberg out of his coffin and bring Cena back after a year and a half of not being on the show and stuff to sell tickets. That doesn't bode well.
No,
not bode well. And
AEW is way better right now.
Becky Lynch came back because they had a baby, so I totally understand that and everything. That's what I would have done too. But the rest of this stuff is just like, come on, man. They need their writers to step up their game. So,
yeah, I feel like they just don't even care anymore. No. Like, you know, like continuing to going backwards, really quick recap. Edge, you know, when he beat Seth Rollins, you know, about popped my tits off. I'm a huge Edge fan. That was a lot of fun. And then Drew McIntyre Jinder Mahal match was just like a filler waste of time.
Jinder Mahal, really? Who cares?
Yeah, it was total waste of time. Let's see, what else was there? Damian Priest beat Sheamus for the U.S. title. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Who? Damian Priest.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's a new guy from NXT. And yeah, Joker voice, totally. Edge and Rollins was the match of the night, stole the show from the entrance to the end of it. It was great. She did. The funny thing is about that Becky Lynch match, Joker, is that when they said that Sasha Banks wasn't there, because that was actually the match I was looking forward to second most behind the Edge match, because I love Sasha Banks. When they said that Sasha Banks wasn't going to be there, I was like, shit. And that's when I went to go try to get a drink, right? And I'm in line to get a drink. I couldn't get any damn way. When I hear the like something happened, and so I missed in person. I was so pissed because they tricked me, because I was like, I don't want to see Bianca Belair versus Carmella for the millionth time. You know what I mean? That's just a bathroom break match. And then of course, while I'm in line, the Becky Lynch music hits. But yeah, no, it was to go back to Joker Voice's point. She did get the biggest ovation of the night because, like I said, I could hear it from the corridor where I was getting the drink, and then like a bunch of people who were out there just run to like wherever they could go see what was going on. So I knew something was up. And then when the crowd kind of came down a little bit, I could finally hear that it was Becky Lynch's music, and I was just like, God damn it, I missed Becky Lynch's music.
They got you. Yeah. But, and then she goes out and wins the belt in like a 12-second match.
In like 10 seconds. That's the thing WWE does that I hate, is they squash their new talent immediately for some reason. Like this new guy, it looks like a gimp now. What's his name? Karrion Kross. He was undefeated in NXT champion, badass, super dope entrance, really sexy valet. They take him to Raw. They take his cool entrance away. They take his girl away.
Yep.
They put him in a gimp mask, and they job him out to Jeff Hardy of all people.
That's no good.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't know what they're doing.
Soon to be debuting on AEW.
Yeah, right.
That's where.
But what else?
I've got this theory that NXT is like a really good training ground for AEW right now. Even though it's supposed to be WWE's training group, it's not. They go up there, they get squashed, they get pissed, they go. Yeah. I'm like, as soon as my contract's up, I'm out.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen with Adam Cole because his contract ended 2 days ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they were desperate to.
And then pretty soon AEW is going to have too much top tier talent.
Yeah,
and all other low guys that were on the shows for the last year are going to get pushed out and they're going to get mad. It's a cycle.
I don't know. We'll see. I like Tony Khan's kind of cool. He's got they got the 2 shows on TNT. They're going to be moving those to TBS. They're going to be doing 4 shows a year, a la Clash of Champions from back in the WCW days. Also on TBS, just like they used to do. But they're not calling it Clash of Champions. I forget what they're calling it. Right. And then, of course, they're doing their pay-per-views that they do. And then they have the 2 YouTube shows, Dark and Dark.
Right.
I think it's Elevation. I don't watch the YouTube shows, so I don't know. But
they got a lot of stuff. I didn't realize they had that much stuff.
Yeah. They in their roster.
I can't do a wrestling show because I don't have the time to watch it all. Plus all the movies and TV shows I got to watch for the podcast. So
right. Yeah. No,
I don't know what to do.
Well, see, I watched this guy. Simon Miller does this show called Ups and Downs. So, because you're right, I can't possibly watch every single wrestling show out there. So, if I kind of want to know what has happened, I can sit out back and in like 10 minutes he does a very entertaining recap of a 3-hour wrestling show, and I'm good to go. So.
I mean, that's the thing about the WWE shows right now. I didn't know this was going to turn into a wrestling show, but that's okay. No, it's fine.
Because I wore a shirt.
If I can record SmackDown and I can record Raw, right? I can watch both of those shows with my fast forward button in probably less than an hour, and that's like 5-6 hours of content between those 2 shows.
Yeah. No, it's terrible.
It's
terrible. I don't even bother watching Raw or SmackDown. I watch the Ups and Downs show, and if the host Simon says to watch, so that's funny. I didn't mean to do that. Simon says to watch something. This is totally worth watching. Then I'll check out like that match, like hop on YouTube or something like that. Yeah. But no, the only wrestling show that I watch like religiously basically is AEW Dynamite. And now with Punk back, I've watched both Rampages. So that's really for me the best wrestling product out there right now. And just to wrap up so we can move on, because I can Kate is dying of boredom over there. Let's see. It was who was Charlotte Flair, of course, won that triple threat match, which was another waste of new talent getting squashed because I love Rhea Ripley. And then, the match I took a piss during, Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. That was terrible.
I love Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, no, Alexa.
I really do. I really love her.
I love Alexa Bliss. But that match
she's so cute and she's got such attitude.
Yeah. Now she's like possessed or something.
I love it. She's my favorite character of the whole stable. I've always really liked her a lot.
Yeah. So, do you like this new incarnation of her where she's kind of like?
I haven't watched a whole lot of it, but I like the look.
Yeah.
I used to be like kind of into weird goth chicks, so it's okay. Yeah, it's good.
For sure. All right. Well, there you go. That'll conclude the wrestling portion of this. So let's bring Matt.
Matt takes his mute button off.
Well, it was a fascinating conversation. I enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the meat of today's topics, which is actress Danielle Pineda, who plays Faye Valentine on the live-action Netflix remake of Cowboy Bebop. She took to YouTube to address criticisms about her outfits in the recently released promo stills that they put out there that Cowboy Bebop fans are not taken too kindly to. Basically, they completely changed her outfit, and a lot of fans were kind of voicing their concerns about this. And as we all know, anime has, very hypersexualized female characters in it. And she decided to do kind of like a off-the-cuff video. Danny, you need to mute yourself too.
My bad.
She decided to do an off-the-cuff YouTube video addressing this stuff, which only kind of served to inflame fans even worse. So we're going to watch the YouTube video, and we're going to talk about what she said. So here is her address. It's only about a minute long, so it's not too long, but I'm going to play the whole thing.
Sound.
I can't hear it.
I can't either.
Okay, hold on.
Technical difficulties. How about that AEW, Danny? It's pretty cool. Right?
Yeah. CM Punk.
All right, let's try this again.
Hey guys, so as
Better?
you know, our Cowboy Bebop first look dropped today, which was so exciting. And I just wanted to address a couple of things that sort of keep coming up in the comments amongst fans. First, I wanted to apologize to the fans that I did not anatomically match the Faye Valentine character. 6 foot, double D size breast, 2-inch waist. You know, they looked everywhere for that woman and they couldn't find her. It's kind of weird. So they just went with my short ass. I know. Am I right? You know, there was talk about like, can we put Daniela in a time machine and maybe give her different parents so she has different genetic information to sort of make her look better? It proved to be too complicated. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was I want to apologize that the outfit I'm wearing is not exactly what she wears in the anime. You know, we tried, but doing stunts in tissue paper, things disappear, they rip. Sometimes it just got lost. Anyway, like I was saying, that original costume, they made a couple of them, but like I said, they got sort of slurped up in my various crevices, never to be retrieved again. So we needed to really build something that could withstand the test of time. So just, you know.
So that was just kind of like a brief breakdown of what she said.
What's do you have the picture of this?
Yeah, I can probably call it up. But she, so this was the girl, Vader, you pointed out she was in Jurassic World Lost Kingdom as the dinosaur veterinarian.
Something like that, yeah. I'm not a Jurassic Park expert, so I think that's who it was.
Oh, where's Alex at? The salty nerd. That's his work.
He's at work.
Oh,
we do these things when he's not around, so he can't be on them.
Yeah.
He gets really annoyed with us too. It's funny. Yeah, I think she was the veterinarian in the first, or was it the second new movie, right? Of the new movies.
Yeah, it was the
as long
second.
as they get her like hair right, like because Faye's the. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I got the Blu-ray.
So
they got her
outfit.
I was just about to say the only thing I can't give a shit about is the hair, as long as she's got her little headband.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But,
so here's the thing with her, man. I'm not super familiar with this show. I admit I'm going into this show pretty much a Cowboy Bebop newbie, right? I've never been into anime, but I do know that these fans for these shows are super passionate, and there is a billion of them. And I just think what she's saying is very kind of like it comes off snarky and disrespectful to the fans. To me, she's pulling this Hollywood Brie Larson nonsense, and if she would just have shut up and not said anything, nobody probably would have cared a whole lot, because that outfit she has on in the show is not a big deal. I wouldn't have cared. So nobody was expecting her to be on the show walking around in this kind of stuff.
I gotta cut my camera off real quick. Why'd you show that picture?
So this is Faye and the character in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And she's basically wearing like a 2-piece. She's got like short shorts with like suspenders and this kind of like collared like top. And she's known for having this kind of like red sweater that she kind of like ties up around her belly. But she shows a lot of skin.
What you can't see is under that she wears kind of like see-through stockings and like white boots or whatever.
Yeah. And so, but like that's kind of like her thing in the show is like she's purposely sexualizing herself to distract people while she basically kicks their butt.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff that Daniela said here, like that she's like 6 foot tall. That's not true. She's like 5'6" in the show. She's smaller than the male characters, and it's kind of funny because she talked about how like you can't do stunts in this outfit, and yet we had one of our Twitter followers point out. Meanwhile, literally her in another movie, and she's doing stuff in these very tight revealing outfits.
I mean, give me a break. And just the nerd in me had to find out. Yeah, she's 5'5".
Yeah.
In the show, not this actress, the animated character is 5'5". So.
I think there's actually a promo image from the anime where they're all standing.
That's what I found.
Are actually on a police lineup chart with the
but it's in centimeters. I had to because I'm a stupid American and they don't teach us the metric system in school here.
So basically, let's see here. She got really offended that the fans weren't creaming themselves over the fact that she's in this show that fans are already skeptical of, and she decided to be really sarcastic about it. Do you think this is a good way to kind of address the fandom?
Hell no, it's like Matt was saying, it's disrespectful. It's biting the hand that feeds you. I mean, why do you want to piss off your audience before your products even come out?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and it's funny because on Twitter they have been posting pictures that show cosplayers pulling off the Faye Valentine outfit
flawlessly,
perfectly well.
Oh, yeah. I used to know a lot of cosplayers. I used to be in that charity group with them, and I used to go to those conventions and stuff all the time before the global pandemic happened and closed them all down. And I've seen some amazing stuff. Some of these people should have jobs in Hollywood. Like to the actress's point about, like can't do stunts in this and blah blah blah. That's just BS. Is all that is.
Yeah. So Joker says doing an adaptation from a visual medium should come with a level of respect for the source material.
Totally. Yeah.
And
completely agree.
Latino Slant says she took personal offense, first mistake, then condescended to fans, huge mistake number 2. This is very true.
Hail Latino Slant.
Hail Latino Slant, Polly. Let's see here. Keg Crusher says John Cho is a terrible Spike Spiegel. Jet Black looks badass. Looks like bad cosplay. Like I'm gonna try to reserve my judgment until I see the actual Netflix show. John Cho, I wouldn't have cast him as Spike personally, but
no, I wouldn't either. I
think he's one of the few kind of like Asian actors that that American audiences are very familiar with, and so that's probably why he got the part. But I mean, who knows? Keg Crusher says, but this is a Netflix adaptation, so it's going to be bad no matter what.
That's my brother.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, he's not wrong.
No, he's not.
And then it's going to be tough for John Cho to emulate the amazing Steve Blum's voice.
So
I guess
I'm going to need to go back and just rewatch the anime. It's only 2 seasons or something, right? Like somebody told me that.
I think it's in total it's like 21 episodes plus.
That's it.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, I can do 21, 22 episodes. I should be able to do that if I can find some time.
Joker Voice says, but this is Netflix. Kevin Smith let us know that they have so much content that they don't care about fan opinions. This behavior comes as no surprise.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing with Netflix. They put out crap and don't care what people say.
But it's also kind of the HBO business model, which is like they're a subscription-based service, right?
You want to borrow this, Vader? You let me know next time I see you. I'll bring it back.
I will. Yeah, I got to put my DVD player, hook it up.
So when it comes to subscription-based services, they don't really care about ratings. They just care about new signups and audience retention. And when you get to as big as Netflix is, which I think it has like, 200 and something million subscribers.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's a lot of money every month coming into them. Like it's accurate to say that they don't care about certain criticism, and they're not going to care until people start unsubscribing and staying unsubscribed. But until that point, they have the HBO mentality where it's like we're just going to do whatever we want and we don't care what other people say.
And
209 million subscribers.
And we'll keep talking trash about their terrible shows. So that's
Do they even still remember when they first started? They mail out the DVDs. They even still do that?
No,
I don't know. I don't think
no,
so.
they don't. They stopped doing that decades ago, I think.
Oh, okay. Decades. Damn.
Yeah. No, I remember when Netflix, they started up when I was in college, and this was back when Blockbuster was still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like their big thing was no late fees. And so like you'd sign up, it was like, I think, I don't know, $14 a month.
Yeah, I used to get the little.
Yeah, and they would mail you out the DVDs you wanted to rent, and then you would put them back in a little envelope and send them back in whenever you got around to it.
So my only question is, were you guys on the 1, 2, or 3 DVDs a week model?
I think I went for the 3 DVDs a week.
I honestly don't remember. I just remember that as soon as Redbox came out, I stopped using Netflix until the whole streaming thing happened. So
yeah, well, I was watching a lot of movies because I was in film school at the time, and so like I was like, oh, no late fees. This is great because I was always having to pay late fees.
I'm in my head. Alex is going, what do you mean they send out DVDs?
What's a DVD?
What's that? Kids.
Yeah.
Damn millennials.
It was interesting because like on Netflix back in that time, you could find a lot of like really obscure movies that you couldn't find at like your local video store or something like that. And then Netflix started doing this whole like streaming thing. Like they were the ones that pioneered that technology and that business model, and that's when it really started to kind of take off. And now here we are. They were the first, and they were the most successful.
So Keg Crusher says that they still do the DVD and Blu-ray thing. Is that for people that live out in the middle of the boonies that have no access to streaming? That's what I'm wondering. So.
I honestly thought that they discontinued that service.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I haven't heard anything about that in a long time. Joker says, Death Note I heard was an abomination. When you compare it to the anime Joker, yeah, like the movie was awful. Really, really bad. I watched the movie first, and I didn't think it was a very good movie. But then I watched the anime, and I was like, oh, like that movie was bad. Because the anime is actually like really freaking good.
So I know Netflix does some of the anime stuff pretty decently. I know Castlevania is pretty popular, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's made by the same studio that did the Kevin Smith.
Yeah, the Masters of the Universe animation.
We'll talk about that at another time, Danny. So
what? You didn't like it?
No, not at all.
What? I love it.
We're bringing you back. We're bringing you back for the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So we'll save it for then.
Yeah. Do either of you guys know when that's supposed to come out?
I do not.
Early 2022 is what Kevin Smith said on his podcast. So.
2022.
Jesus.
Yeah, because they want to stretch it out. So it'll be like January of 2022 is what he was saying. I hope he's wrong, but that's why they're releasing the kids He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. The trailer just dropped. I don't know if you saw that, the CGI one.
Yeah, that looks weird.
Yeah, and then to kind of fill in the gap between them, because they want to stretch out this IP as long as they can, because the guy who hired Kevin Smith is like lifelong He-Man fan. In fact, like they say, like when you go into his office, all of his figures are out of the box and everywhere, and he plans on doing multiple seasons. And if season 2 happens, which it probably will, even though there's all this hate online about the show for some reason, they said that's not going to be ready to come out until like late 2022 or early 2023. So they kind of wanted to space it out. Is what Kevin Smith said on his Fat Man Beyond podcast. The thing that sucks is he also said these other 5 episodes, they're ready. I mean, they could release them. Like they're ready to go.
Yeah, that's goofy.
Yeah.
I need the other 5 episodes to release so I can have an actual opinion on the whole season.
Yeah, because it's just half a story right now.
Yeah, it's just,
Well, you know what? Amazon did the same thing with their live action version of the Tick.
Mm-hmm.
They released like half a season, and then they waited like a year to release the other half of the season. By then, everyone who got into the first half of the season was just like, whatever. like talk about a way to kill the momentum of a possible franchise. It's like, hey, let's tell you half the story and then wait another 6 months before you can like see the other half.
The thing with Amazon's Tick, though, wasn't that like with the Jean-Claude Van Damme, like they did 3 things and they had the fans vote on like which one was gonna get.
No, that was the first season. So the second season of the Tick, they had like they released the first half of it, and then they waited like a year to release like the second half, and it was the dumbest freaking thing, because after that they canceled it. Because no one tuned in for the second half of the season because nobody knew when it was coming out. All the fan excitement for season 2 kind of died off at the end of the first half of the second season. And it's a shame because that show was really, really good.
The Tick was good, and the funny thing, the connection, the voice of Orko is a kid from the Tick.
So the guy who played Arthur in the live action version of the Tick does the voice of Orko in Kevin Smith's He-Man. And it's like, I don't understand Netflix. I know that they're doing this thing where they're trying to like put out like a new piece of content every week, which is crazy, but seems to be working out for them. But I really think it was a odd decision to like release the first 5 episodes, especially considering how much backlash it got from the fans.
I agree.
And then like wait for so long before they're releasing like the rest of the story.
Because nobody's gonna care. In a year, we just most people. Just
I mean, I'm gonna care.
Yeah, but you're one out of 3 of us. So they just lost 2/3 of their audience.
I mean, I'll watch it because I like the first half of the season, but like I don't know, the strategy behind this release thing is not good.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it only because we're gonna talk about it. That's the only reason I'm watching it. So just being truthful, and it might be good. I hope it's good. I really do.
I loved it. So like you said, we'll wait till that second half drops to talk about it more.
For sure.
Tracy says a lot of shows do that stupid half-season stupidity and wait months for the rest. I don't know who started it, but it needs to end. It actually kind of goes back to network TV because they'd have like a mid-season break where the show would go on hiatus for a little bit. People would go on vacations and come back and shoot the rest of the season. But the thing about streaming is that you don't have that same schedule. Like network TV was doing like 21 episodes. That's like a lot of stuff to produce. Streaming, you get like 8 to 10 episodes, if you're lucky. And Netflix's model has been to just dump the entire season, let people binge it, which is what I wish they had done with Masters of the Universe if the final 5 episodes were ready. But for some reason they're breaking it up, and I think it's just because they're trying to space out their content to meet this ridiculous new thing a week schedule that they set for themselves.
I don't know why I didn't mention this. Go ahead. I see Ted Crusher's thing.
Ted Crusher says, I'm sure after Cowboy Bebop fails, they will start work on ruining Samurai Champloo next. I don't know what that is, but okay.
I tell you what, I'd love to see a live action adaptation of is I've got it when I was getting this DVD, I saw, and I got a little anime section, is the Ninja Resurrection. That is such a brutal, awesome anime. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you haven't,
so unfamiliar with the whole genre. I don't know if I have enough time in my life to get into it. I don't know.
It's pretty for a cartoon. It's one of those really gory, graphic cartoons. It's badass.
If you recommend it, I'll probably try to find a time to check it out. So
my all-time favorite anime is Berserk, and I think that would be a truly epic TV series if they tried to do it live action. I'm not sure they could do it live action, but it's my favorite manga and it's my all-time favorite anime as well.
My whole issue with anime is so, like, my good buddy before I moved to Vegas was just super into it, and he got me into watching Naruto. Okay,
my oldest son.
So my problem was, though, I like the show, but I didn't like the format of the shows because they were 20 minutes long, and 12 minutes of it was them recapping the prior episode.
Previously on Naruto.
It was goofy. I watched, like 345 episodes, and we were halfway through the second season of 30 seasons or whatever that was. I don't know how many thousands of episodes that thing has, but
It's like
it's wild. It's just
it's like I used to watch Dragon Ball Z with my oldest son a lot, and like half of the episode is like them like charging up, you know. So like somebody on YouTube, like I forget what it's called. I think it might even be called like just abridged or something like that. They just chop all that stuff up to like streamline the story. Mm-hmm. It's actually better that way.
I did this. Matt will find this interesting. Is I actually did when I watched that. I watched it with the subtitles because I didn't like the English dubs to it. So yeah. Lunar Girl's here. Hello, Lunar Girl.
Hi, Lunar Girl. So yeah, Berserk is extremely badass. Have either of you guys watched Attack on Titan?
No,
I watched the first season. I need to catch up on that. That's something I do want to watch.
I've seen the first season. The first season was pretty good. I hear it goes downhill fast after the first season. There was also other stuff I've watched like Trigun. Trigun was pretty good. Outlaw Star. I went through like a real anime phase at a certain point in my life where I was just watching like a ton of anime because it was really good storytelling and like really amazing. You know, like you got stuff like Akira. Evangelion, stuff like that. The problem with anime is that at a certain point, whoever's making the anime just goes off the deep end, and it becomes like almost unwatchable because you just don't know what's happening. I'm not saying that happens with all anime, but it is a common like kind of thing that happens. But I think Berserk is still my all-time favorite anime. I'm gonna have to.
I'll have to check that one out. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, there are a couple new versions of it that I haven't seen, but the original version was so freaking good, and it followed the comics very closely. So I highly recommend that one. But speaking of stuff that we love that's getting ruined, let's talk about Anne Rice and Interview with the Vampire.
Segue. that was smooth, Matt. That was smooth.
So for those of you who don't know, AMC is basically adapting Anne Rice's vampire novels into their own kind of like cinematic universe based off of like TV shows. And so they're going to be taking the Interview with the Vampire book, turning it into a TV series. And they just cast, you know, if you've seen the movie, you know, Brad Pitt played a character named Lewis and Tom Cruise played a character named Lestat. And Lewis was a white slave owner in the 1800s in Louisiana. And they just cast that role for the TV show. And they cast the African-American actor who played Grey Worm in Game of Thrones for Brad Pitt's role. And a lot of people online, here's a picture of him right here. A lot of people online are like, wait, isn't he a slave owner? Like, how is this going to work? There's a rumor that they're changing him from being a slave owner to being a pimp during that time. So it's a guy who runs like a whorehouse or something like that.
They can't do that. They just can't do that. It's just
and people are saying like, oh, Anne Rice signed off on this as executive producer or whatever, so she's obviously cool with this change. But I'm wondering if Anne Rice's involvement in this is just kind of like honorary, if she doesn't actually have any say. But Vader, I know that you're a big fan of the Anne Rice novels. So
I haven't read these books in a long time, but I did read them back when I read books, and I just don't like this choice. I don't understand why they have to do such a drastic misdirect or change or rewrite of the character. You know, you pull up the Louis wiki, right? And it says straight up that he had alabaster white skin and shoulder length black hair and green eyes.
This is just something
it's nonsense though. I mean,
well, it is, but you know, it's all these wokesters are running stuff now.
Yeah, well, I guess it just makes me so angry, and I have nothing against the actor. I think he's a great actor. I loved his character in Game of Thrones.
See, I don't think he's a very good actor. I don't think he's a good casting choice for leading a show. I don't think he can carry a show on his own. He's a good supporting actor. I don't think he's a good leading man.
What sucks though is if by me having that opinion, people are going to say I'm being a racist, and that's not what I'm doing. It's bullshit. and
I agree.
It's just the wrong person for this role.
If you wanna include, other people, whatever. I don't know how to word it without getting in trouble, I guess. But make a new character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make a new character that fits whatever.
Or if you're going to adapt a basically a modern classic piece of literature, which is what this is, because millions of people have read these books, stick to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rewrite it. Stick to the story, or don't do it. That's my thought on it, because I'd rather it not be made than it get changed and rewritten. That's just how I feel. So it makes me mad. I'm scared who they're going to cast as Lestat now.
Well, they already cast him.
Who?
A guy named Sam Reed. He's an Australian actor.
Oh, okay. Well, he kind of looks like he could play the part at least. So
yeah. But this does seem like kind of like a diversity casting decision as opposed
100%.
to actually being true to the source material.
Mm-hmm.
But if Anne Rice is cool with it, are you guys like, oh, okay, I'll see.
Well, Anne Rice is pretty woke, dude. So I'm sure she is.
Well,
cool.
I mean, I'm sure she's cool with it, because that check she cashed, sure.
Yeah.
Well, remember when they cast Tom Cruise as Lestat, and she just came out like saying like he's wrong for the role. I hate him.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then the movie came out, made a bunch of money, and she's like, Tom Cruise isn't so bad.
It's all about the ducks.
So,
Vader, are you still looking forward to checking out the Anne Rice universe on AMC?
Not as much as I was. No, I mean, I'm still gonna check it out. Maybe the dude will sell us on the role. Maybe it'll be okay. But all we can do is have our initial visceral reaction to this news, right? I mean, it's just not something that I would have done personally, and I don't like it. I mean, that's all I can really say about it right now. Is I don't think it's a good choice.
Well, I'm wondering how big of a role Lewis is going to be playing in the TV show.
He's the main character of the first book.
He is the main character of the first book, but I think that the TV show is trying to adapt all the vampire novels as like one cohesive story. So almost like how Hannibal was handled with the Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter type stuff, where the TV show covered a bunch of the books, but not like it was almost like each season was a different book in it. So I guess we'll see. I don't know what they have planned for this. I can tell you that, I read Interview with a Vampire a long time ago when I was in high school, I think, and really enjoyed it. Thought it was a great book. Thought the movie was pretty good. But since then, I haven't really thought about Anne Rice at all. So my excitement for this stuff was pretty non-existent to begin with. I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see if it's any good. But now I'm just kind of like, this might not even be worth my time if they're handling the source material so cavalierly to begin with.
If you see Luna Girl's comment in the chat, it's spot on. It's what's got me chuckling here.
It's not going to matter to the younger woke generation because they'd rather watch the movie series than read the books. They'll never know how it was supposed to be.
Unfortunately, this is probably correct.
Right.
It's very true. Reading books is becoming a lost art, unfortunately. And Marianne asked, what's the race swap vampire thing? So that was what we just talked about, Marianne, where this actor, let me see if I can call it up again. This gentleman right here, what's his name? Jacob Anderson, who played Grey Worm in Game of Thrones. So he's been cast as Lewis in the Anne Rice vampire series that's based off of Interview with the Vampire on AMC+. The original character is a white character. He was played by Brad Pitt in the movie. And he was a plantation slave owner in the original source material. And so it's kind of odd that they're choosing to cast a black actor to portray a plantation slave owner in the 1800s in Louisiana. Apparently there is historical precedence for this, where there were like black slave owners around that time, but it was like very rare. And it's also something that the general public would just kind of like raise an eyebrow at, I guess. Nothing against the actor himself. I don't think he's fit to be a leading actor. Seems to be a good supporting actor, but then again, I could be wrong. We'll give him a shot. But fans of the original source material are definitely kind of skeptical about this casting choice. And that was the race swap vampire thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. I don't know. I'm not. It knocks my enthusiasm down for the show a couple pegs. I'm not gonna lie, it just does. So.
Yeah.
So Joker says those who care about the boxes being checked are not the ones going to consume this product. Unfortunately, the ones who care about those boxes are the ones making the product, and this isn't the first time we've kind of come across this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Correction, your title says race swap, but that implies an exchange. It would be race replaced. Shame. I'd love to see the power exchange of a black vampire in a white world, but this stinks of woke. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I'd have to agree with you, Judy. Joker says, when diehard fans complain, they are met with "this isn't made for you." It's the diehard fans who are going to initially flock to the product.
Yep.
Yeah. Marion says, no effing way. I love the movie and all the vampire books. Well, chances are you're going to hate the series, but give it a try.
Well, you can hate watch it with us. Absolutely.
Not to crap on Grey Worm Dude, but he's not right for this. Yes,
No.
we agree, Marianne. Another IP lost to wokeness. Yes, unfortunately. But, I feel like all the streaming services are just kind of like, because they have the subscription-based thing, they're just like, oh, we're going to go as woke as we want. And you're not going to do anything about it because you're not going to unsubscribe, unfortunately. Judy Hop says, in the original, white vampires kill all the black people on the plantation to cover his escape. They probably think this is too hot to handle, so he'll be the mixed race son of the owner. Oh, that could be a good way to kind of make that transition there.
They'll twist it up somehow, right? So
Yeah.
Joker says, interview, great film. Queen of the Damned, not so much. Yeah, Queen of the Damned is pretty bad.
That wasn't great.
Wasn't that with
the soundtrack was awesome. Yeah.
Wasn't that with Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girl who died in the airplane crash shortly after.
Yeah.
She was also R. Kelly's first underage girlfriend, I think.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. I was like, oh, Aaliyah.
When is the show supposed to come out? Do we have a release date on this at all?
Let me see here. I think it's just now kind of gearing up for production. So
it's probably 2023 or something, I imagine.
Yeah, probably. I'd say that's a good bet.
We'll have to. I'm just asking because before it comes out, we'll have to watch the interview Lestat movies for the podcast.
What were the movies? So there was Interview with the Vampire. There was Queen of the Damned. Did they make a Lestat movie?
I don't think so. I think it's just the two movies. I think some chat could probably help us out. I don't remember. I know there's at least the two. So
yeah,
but I think they're going to be exploring her other books too, right? Her whole there's
the series is going to go through all of her vampire books.
Well, there's she does witches too, right? It's all one big Anne Rice universe.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true. Judy Hop says, on a lighter note, Matt's beard is on point. Thank you very much.
I know. Appreciate it. Right? Get out of here. It's a little messy today, but yeah, it's fun.
K Crusher says that Aaliyah got peed on. We have no proof to back that up, but okay.
What's he talking about?
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly dating Aaliyah or Aliyah, however you pronounce it. Because R. Kelly's whole thing about peeing on women.
Oh, isn't he in jail or something?
Allegedly. Marianne says, I canceled Netflix for cuties, so I'll cancel this one for effing my stuff up. Is it Amazon that's making it? No, it's AMC. So the network that brought you The Walking Dead, they're launching their own streaming service called AMC Plus, and this is going to be a big part of that. So just don't subscribe to it if you don't want to support it. Stuart Townsend played Lestat. It was 2 books crammed into one film, Queen of the Damned and The Vampire Lestat. I remember Stuart Townsend. He was like a rock star in the movie. It was really bad, really stupid. Didn't like it. Judy Hop says, Queen of the Damned had a rocking soundtrack.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it did.
Not just Korn, Deftones. That's how Change got huge.
I think
blew up the Deftones.
So Ked Crusher, he's a little bit behind here, but he says, didn't they make a movie where one of the vamps was a rock star, and I think it had Claudia Black in it for some reason?
Well, yeah, that was the rock star.
Yeah, that is Queen of the Damned, Ked Crusher.
Yeah.
I don't think, Claudia Black might have been one of the vampire high council people.
Yeah, that was right out of the book. He does become a rock star.
Yeah. All right, guys. So anything else you want to cover before we wrap things up here?
I mean, I guess to full
the
circle it.
The skateboard guy put blood in his paint for his skateboards. Well,
Tony Hawk
Tony
took a
Hawk.
vial of his own blood, mixed it
Yeah.
with some paint, and is selling some limited edition skateboards with his own blood on it.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I have to talk to my
Pretty wild.
son about that. He, semi-pro skateboarder, teaches autistic kids how to skateboard.
That's kind of a weird gimmick though for this day and age. You know, I instantly compare it to back in, I think it was early '80s when Kiss put blood in the ink of a Marvel Kiss comic book,
Right.
as a gimmick to sell the comic books, and they put like vials of their own blood in the ink. Kind of weird, right? You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know.
Well, I was going to ask you guys earlier, or at least you, Vader, have you watched the new Stars show called Heels?
I have not.
Oh, about wrestling with Stephen Amell
But-
and
Yeah.
but I
guy from
want
Vikings.
to. I want to. It's
It's
definitely, it's supposed to, I've actually read a few articles about it, and it sounds like it's really good.
it is. It's only 2 episodes have come out. I really enjoyed them so far. Just to kind of bring things full circle, tomorrow night's episode has CM Punk in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to. Is this something? So I'm trying to find stuff I can watch with my wife because
I don't think Story would like this show.
we have one night a week where we can like hang out, due to our schedules and stuff, and we're going to start watching that. I think it's a HBO Max or Netflix show. I forget, with Steve Martin and
Looking forward to that.
Martin Short.
yeah.
With the murder mysteries.
Yeah. That one looks really cool.
That does look good. I want to. What network is that on though? I have no idea where.
It's one of the streaming
That
services.
is Hulu, I believe.
Hulu.
Is it Hulu?
That's
Okay,
right,
I have
that's right.
Hulu. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Marianne asks, Spider-Man trailer, did you like it? Actually, Marianne, we did a trailer reaction on our channel. You can find it at saltynerdvideo.com. It's in the reaction playlist. But Vader, real quick, what did you think of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer?
I don't know. It was all right, I guess. I try not to get super worked up over trailers. Yeah, it's just
I watched that trailer probably 300 times.
yeah. I don't know, man. I
even texted Kadish about this. I went back and watched all of the Tobey Maguire movies because that trailer got me so pumped.
You're a
And
madman.
I forgot, probably get shit for this. I forgot how great, though. I'm sorry, Spider-Man 2 to this day, I think is the best superhero movie to this day. I love it so much.
No, I agree with you.
Spider-Man 2 is great.
Yeah.
And
It was a trailer, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we got someone from Facebook saying, hey, nerds. Hey, Donald.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Donnie.
Thanks for joining us on Facebook.
I forget you got this on Facebook.
Yeah. The weird thing about the Spider-Man movies is that they're not actually Marvel movies. They're Sony movies.
Mhm.
And so I always have to temper my excitement for the new Spider-Man films because they're not technically done by Marvel. So I'm always kind of like, I wonder how they're going to screw things up for the MCU going forward. But this one, yeah, it had a lot of like really cool moments where I was like, ooh, can't wait to see that. So I really enjoyed it.
Did you guys see I'm telling you, they teased Sandman, and I'm pretty sure that's
Electro.
The Wizard. Huh?
Electro.
Well, Electro we already knew because that was confirmed. He was the first confirmed one. Jamie Foxx's Electro. And then the second confirmed was Doc Ock. But they haven't really confirmed any of the others, yet.
Judy Hop says R. Kelly's mixing a vial of his own pee for album covers next.
Yeah.
We'll have some pee and blood vials for NFTs pretty soon. I guarantee you.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Let's see here. Joker says 3rd episode of What If, actually not bad, not woke, straightforward story.
I loved it, and the twist because it's a whodunit
Mm-hmm.
was awesome, and it's
I've been watching What If. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'll probably watch the 3rd one today or tonight when I get home from work. I'm not a huge fan of the animation style.
Oh, really?
No, it looks weird, but I didn't like the animation style of that Spider-Man.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I did. I'm
I
gonna like.
love that.
I think I'm the only person on the planet that didn't like that movie, but that's just me. But the stories on the what ifs I've actually kind of enjoyed. I have no issues with the show. I know a lot of people in my Twitter circle. A lot of them don't like it, but I haven't found a whole lot to complain about other than I just don't like the way the animation looks. It looks like they trace and stuff on it, and it's goofy to me. But the what ifs, it's a fun show, and it's supposed to be kind of goofy and weird and out there.
The third one,
so
the one that whoever made that comment was talking about, it's pretty hardcore, man.
Yeah,
because the premise, I think the title is "What if the Avengers died" or something like that, or
that's
or
cool.
They died before they were the Avengers. I can't remember, but it's a murder mystery. It's a whodunit.
Nice.
Okay, there you go. Earth's mightiest heroes died, and like you have to figure, or you don't have to figure out. They tell you, but like it's like they're trying to figure who's killing all these Avengers, before they become the Avengers. Like somehow somebody knows they're going to become the Avengers, so they're killing them before they become the Avengers. Nice. It's really cool, actually. It's really cool.
So Andre Enrico says, Kadish is right. Battle Beyond the Stars is a lot of fun. So in your face, Vader.
Terrible.
There you go.
Whoa. That movie was terrible.
No, it wasn't. It was okay.
Because I was the guest on that one too, and I was having my girlfriend. I was having her watch it, because I'm shameless, and basically we're like, oh my God, are you talking about those two? Because I had her try to watch. Yeah, she wouldn't even watch it with me. Like she got maybe 20 minutes into it. She's like, I'm going to the other room.
I didn't think Battle Beyond the Stars was all that bad, but I'm a Seven Samurai fan, so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're a Seven Samurai,
and I like Roger Corman.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Andre also says Venom is much better than Tom Holland movies. He cries more for Tony Stark than for Uncle Ben.
I mean, is there even an Uncle Ben? I mean, they don't even.
Yeah, I don't think Uncle Ben's even in
it. There is, but they just kind of assume you already know that he's there.
I can appreciate that.
Keg Crusher says, has anyone looked at King Spawn and Spawn Universe yet? Nope.
No.
Don't care. I stopped caring about Spawn in the late 90s. When it got so ridiculous and nonsensical that it didn't matter anymore. I know that they've been having problems with the movie. So like Todd McFarlane's supposed to direct a Spawn movie.
Really? Having a movie problem with the movie that Todd McFarlane's involved in? Shocker.
Yeah. Right.
So it's been delayed a number of times, and Todd McFarlane's still supposedly directing it, but the producers, I guess, are having like a hard time with it for some reason. Joker says, sorry, boys, Kadish is correct. To be fair, I haven't seen it since I was 9. But another one that says I'm right. So in your faces, both of you.
So I'm not.
Hold up, Bill. He also said he hadn't seen it since he was 9. So you go back and here's my challenge for you, good sir. Go back, or ma'am, I guess you're.
No, it's Joker.
No, it's Joker. He's good.
Okay. Go back and watch it now and tell me if you still like it. Because like how many movies, I know this has happened to you guys. You remember a movie you saw when you were younger and you remember like, oh my God, it's such a great movie. And you go back and watch it as an adult. And it's
awful.
Terrible, just terrible. Like Masters of the Universe.
The Black Hole.
Yeah. Or yeah.
So Joker, Jamie Foxx is attached to the Spawn movie as Spawn. Yeah. Whether or not he'll just be the voice or they'll actually show him, it's up in the air right now. Don't know. He also says Venom was awful. It was okay. The new one got pushed back again. So
the new trailer looks goofy. I still don't think they could ever do an actual Venom adaptation of the comic books and do it without a hard R-rated X rating. It's so gnarly. So we'll see.
Joker says challenge accepted, Dork Knight. So
good man.
He's going to go back and watch that, and once again, he's going to prove that I am right. So there you go. In your faces, both of you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this Saturday morning Home Gang. Hope you guys had fun listening to us rant about pop culture and entertainment news and stuff like that.
Yep.
If you could do us a favor, hit the thumbs up on this video. It helps us with the algorithm, because the more thumbs up we get, the more YouTube thinks that this is worth sharing with other people. And also, if you want to help support the podcast and more of these live streams, be sure to leave a comment letting us know what you think and what you'd like to see improve or change. And also go to saltynerdclub.com, where you can sign up to be a member of our podcast, and you get all types of cool behind the scenes videos and pictures and stuff that we can't show on YouTube, otherwise we get banned, and all that good stuff. You can choose a different tier depending on how much you want to support the podcast, but we always appreciate that stuff. We're trying to get to 50 patrons right now. That's our goal. If we can hit that before the end of the year, that'd be great. I don't think we will, but if you guys, if you guys are so inclined, please feel free. We're trying to really cultivate our little community over there, and you also get access to the Discord, special patrons only area of the Discord that's very active. So
saltynerddiscord.com.
Yeah.
For everybody else. Yep. Come over.
Right, so Matt Vader, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me right here on Twitter.
You pointing at your crotch? What are you doing, sir?
I don't know. Right? Yeah. So Matt Vader 74 on Twitter and Instagram. And Matt, you set up a couple links for me this week. MattVader.com. Goofy, right? Takes you straight to my personal YouTube page, where I play some games once in a while, and I might make a video of me reading the water bottle label to piss people off or something goofy. So who knows? But yeah, Twitter and Instagram, and that's it. So,
and Danny, where can people find you on the socials?
Right there, Dork Knight LB with the 2 Ks on Twitter. Just on Twitter. I don't do any of that other stuff.
All right, and you can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish, on Twitter, and kadishbooks.com takes you to my Amazon page, where you can check out some of my novels. So until next time we decide to do a home gang, this is Matt Kadish and the Salty Nerds signing off. Stay salty, my friends, and we will see you all next time.